Welcome back, YouTube. I promised that I would explain how I replaced the soaked insulation in the bottom of that air handler. And by the way, only half of it was soaked. It's compartmented, and there's a flange in between the two halves of the cabinets there. So only the left-hand side where the coil is was wet. And the way I got it wet was I didn't have the drain pipe connected. Well, I did have it connected, but I didn't have it connected to the outside trap. You have to have a trap on the drain line there, otherwise it pulls in air. And that air it's pulling in creates some kind of turbulence inside the cabinet there, and it causes it to splash over. And so I ran this thing about an hour in the air conditioning mode, and during that hour it splashed over and it soaked the insulation in the air handler. And I'm going to show you what I used to replace it. So I'm going to pause this right now. I have to go into another room, but I can't show you what's in there right now, but all you're going to see is a piece of insulation anyway. I don't want to have to take the cover off just to do that, but I'm going to show you what I used. Okay, this is what I used. It's called Reflectix. I got this stuff at, I think, Home Depot. This stuff is a bubble wrap, and it has an R6 value, which is the same value that the ductwork has. So I've got 2 layers of this in the bottom of the air handler. Probably could have got away with 1. Nice thing about this stuff is that the next time you have anything spill over into the bottom of the air handler, it won't ruin the insulation. It's waterproof. It's bubble wrap. You get it wet, you vacuum out the water and drain out the water, and that's about it. So you can see for duct wrap, it's got multiple uses, and it tells you what the value is for any given application. Here they're using it for duct insulation. It says it's got an R6. There's no reason to believe that it wouldn't have the same value inside the air handler. I've run the air conditioner for several hours. Matter of fact, for a couple of days in the air conditioning mode here in Florida, and it's hotter than hell right now in the 90s, and I don't see the cabinets. It's not sweating at all, whereby it was before with the soaked insulation. The whole bottom of the cabinet was wet with condensation. So this is great stuff. In fact, I would recommend this stuff to anyone that's going to put a new air handler in a horizontal mode. If you're a pro and you care about what you're doing, I guess, it would behoove you, before you do a new installation, if we got the coil out of the cabinet and everything else, take out the fiberglass insulation and put a couple of layers of this stuff in there. You'll never get a call back on this stuff. Or if the coil freezes over, loss of refrigerant, whatever might happen, you'll be guaranteed that the insulation doesn't need to be replaced. So I think it's great stuff for the the problem I had anyway.